we were talking earlier about what inspired the cover up for The World Is Not Yours, and you described that you've talked about living in Melbourne. So for anyone just joining us, we've just had to restart this interview. So we'll just go on that. What was the most jarring thing for you about? Did you come from somewhere where there wasn't homeless? And did you always live in Melbourne?
No, no. Melbourne's. I've lived in Victoria my whole life. Like 45. Grew up 45 minutes outside of Melbourne, but I was going there every weekend when I was a teenager to go to like record shops or catch up with mates. Um, and there was always people around experiencing homelessness. It definitely increased around the time of COVID, maybe even a little bit before. I just remembered that there was a day, one time I was walking around, and I'm like, I think I can look at every single corner and see somebody or several people. And actually, where I used to live, a little bit more in towards the city, which is just a small kind of beachside town. Like, there's been homeless people in that town, like sleeping on the street. Never in my entire life. And I think it's really speaking to how bad like the financial crisis is and mental health crisis and all those kinds of things. Which I mean, yes. So the artwork, obviously, I spoke about the seeing people who are living rough on the street, but it's the bigger picture as well. It's that things are so fucked that things have come out of our hands, really, and we're
Yeah,
sort of just feel a bit insignificant in the bigger picture.
yeah. Mate, the album itself, so this is your debut full length for MUNT. How long has MUNT been in existence? It's been a while, hey?
Yeah, so I would say as a full band, about 2018, 2017. Spud, the creator of the band, sort of the head honcho, it was a solo project. I think he'd moved to Melbourne about the year, I think it's 2016 roughly, and Magruder Grind had come here to do a tour, and he caught them live, and he was like, fuck it, I want to finally do a grind project. And it was just a one man sort of thing. I think he got a bunch of vocalists from different bands and one of his old bands, a drummer to do the session drums. And he put it together, and then after a little while, was like, I think he showed a couple of people he'd met here, and like, why the fuck is this not a real band? Like, and then I think Ronnie and the old vocalist and old drummer got on board, and then it's gone from there. So quite a while. I mean, so really almost 10 years.
Well,
10 years this year. Yeah.
it is. I'm not comfortable with the fact that 2018 was almost 10 years ago, Tim. I'm not
Yeah.
happy with the passage of time.
No,
2018 was when I quit
it's
drinking.
very
That's
disarming.
wild. That
Wow.
was a long time
Well,
ago.
congratulations. That's
Ah,
8. No.
that's
Yeah, nearly
that's
10 years. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, going on 8 years this year. I tell people I'm allergic to alcohol. I break out in handcuffs. Mate, you are look what we've talked about obviously the influence of homelessness. I just wonder what were the other big influences that went into the creation of this album?
I mean, big influences, at least thematically. Well, I guess I can speak to sort of the different issues that are going on. I mean, like the housing crisis is one. I think kind of like a social political divide that's exacerbated by like social media and even just noticing traits in our human nature that we seem to not be able to get away from. Um, I think it's just that how oppressive society actually can be. I mean, there's even um, like I've got a lot of friends that struggle with certain like the way that they live, disabilities, that kind of thing. And I mean, kind of content warning for talking about suicide,
Hmm.
but even talking about like suicide as like an insurance check, like that's my get out of jail free card. for how fucked the world is, for how expensive living is, for getting help and all that sort of stuff. And it's just this idea, the world is not yours. Like the title, one of the things that it came from, the hip hop artist Nas had a classic song, "The World Is Yours,"
Mhm.
and it was like a wake up song for me, like a very upbeat, "The world is yours." And I think through my study at uni, thinking about all these things, maybe I'd listen to that song. I just thought like instead of waking up one day and being like, wow, there's all this opportunity, it's this wake up call of like, holy shit, everything is kind of geared against us. Um, and that's, yeah, I think that's kind of it. It's trying to capture a bit of that realization of how fucked the world is, and it doesn't cater to many people at all. Um, and it's quite dystopian.
Mm. You're hitting the road with Nembitolic. Have I murdered that name? No, I got it right.
No, that's exactly. I think that's how they pronounce it.
Crushed it. What can you tell me about them other than the fact they have a weird name?
Those guys are a bunch of maniacs, in the best way. They've been around for quite a few years now. Actually, it's I want to say not far off the same amount of time that we've been a band. They're a younger bunch of guys, and they've just I can't even really characterize what this genre is. They play metal. It's kind of hardcore, but it's a bit of everything. It feels like old school but fresh. Um, and yeah, it's if so for the tour we've got coming up in March. I feel like they're the perfect companions to go along with to just have like the most crazy, hectic shows. Um, and I think one thing I really love about though that band is they really want to give a foot up to like young. I mean, they're young guys, and they're really always wanting to give opportunities to the youngest possible bands. We've been talking about like lineups for the tour, and we're passing around different names. And anytime that they give a suggestion, it's like a band I've never heard of because they're probably like 16, 17. It's their first band, and it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that's really cool about them is they're really trying to elevate the underground, the young underground.
Yeah. So who do you see as some of the best grind bands that Australia has produced? I think I know most,
Mm.
but you feel free.
I would say off the top of my head, currently, Internal Rot. I think Internal Rot. I literally was at a noise gig on the weekend with Sol, the guitarist of MUNT. And actually, we met at an Internal Rot show, I think, years ago. And I was like, fuck, I just want to go to a Dirty Dive bar show and see like Internal Rot and get real. I don't drink really at all anymore. I have like a pint, but I was like, it would just be nostalgic to get completely loose at a grind show, stage diving. And that's what Internal Rot to me. So like classic bands when I was finishing high school, like The Kill, Captain Clean Off, just and Fuck I'm Dead. That was actually I heard them when I was 13. I was on MSN and an older friend of mine, I used to be into skateboarding, and an older skateboarding friend, like I don't know what I was listening to because you could see what I was listening to. He was like, oh, here's some good music, and he sent me Shotgun Facelift by Fuck I'm Dead, and I was just like, what the fuck is this? Yeah, Melbourne, Australia has such a crazy grind scene, honestly. Like, I'm sure that there's a YouTube documentary about it somewhere because it's just so rich. Yeah, it's very exciting.
We
What
have.
bands do you particularly?
Oh, look, I'm pretty much one of my favorite Australian bands, period, is King Parrot. So I
Yep.
know, and my first ever, so I grew up very gigless. I grew up in Tasmania where almost nobody came, but my first ever indoor show was Blood Duster in 2004 on the See You Next Tuesday tour. And the band came out half naked, covered in fake blood. I was never the same since. So, yeah, man, like King Parrot, Blood Duster, Damaged. Damaged were before my time. It was only people who are older
Yeah.
than me telling me, "Oh man, you should have seen Damaged." Yeah, man, this.
Yeah, you know what's funny? At that gig I was on the weekend, there was a different gig downstairs, and actually Tony from Blood Duster was there, and he actually came up and we did because he's in Remains now. And we had a bit of a conversation, and funnily enough, him and his mate, who is also older, they couldn't not bring up Damaged and
Yeah.
and Matt Skits because they were talking about like grindcore drummers from back in the day, and yeah,
Uh,
very
the
cool. It's a
the urban legends I
to
would
be
hear
fair, I've
about.
not really listened to that much of their music because I think,
Yeah, the urban legends
oh
I would
yeah,
hear about
absolutely. I
Chippo.
think we were joking about um we were talking about Munt's old drummer Seb. I was saying that like he used to put deep heat on his forearms sometimes either before and after playing. And then they're like, oh, that's something Matt Skits used to do. I'm sure that was Matt Skits was the one that used to do that, put
Yeah,
deep heat on his forearms because he'd be blasting too much or yeah.
and it's like,
So there you
oh,
go,
he used to
another
play
damage story.
backwards. He used to sit on a milk crate. All sorts of just, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
infamous stories, mate. So,
Mm.
um, here's one for you. If you had to put together a grindcore supergroup, who would it be and why?
I would say probably Dobber Beverly, the drummer for Insect Warfare. I'd have
Hmm.
him on drums. I would I would put Ethan from Primitive Man and Vermin Womb maybe just in the job that he's already doing, which is guitar and vocals.
Yeah,
If not just vocals,
I just checked out Primitive Man.
maybe.
Good grief.
Oh yeah, insane band. And maybe the guitarist, I actually don't know his name, but the guitarist from Discordance Axis. I
Yeah,
mean, yeah, Ethan on vocals, guitarist from Discordance Axis, Dobber Beverly, and then I suppose I don't want to say bass doesn't matter, but you know, I mean, there are grind bands that literally they just run their guitar into a bass rig just to get
yeah.
the low end. So there we go.
Wormrock.
There's my
Yeah,
ideal. Yeah,
yeah.
Worm Rock, perfect. Yeah.
I just realised as you're listing off these bands, I just realised how incredibly fortunate I've managed to be over the last few years. Like Pig Destroyer, I've seen Wormrot twice with two different lineups. Napalm Death, I got to see them for the first time. Like,
Yeah.
oh. And one of my favourite Australian bands, I never ever miss them, Chuff from Melbourne.
Yeah. I've
Yeah,
actually I've never managed to catch them. And it's only because over being at uni for the last 4 years, I got to a point where I'm like, it's like an hour to get to the city, and even if it's a local gig, like 20 minutes away or something, I'm like, I'm too tired. And it's literally over those years, I think that Chuff have really started playing heaps of gigs. So
yeah.
maybe now that I'm going to gigs again because I'm free of uni, I might finally catch a set because yeah, apparently they're fucking awesome.
It's insane. The live show has only gotten better. I literally created an award called the most dangerous band of the year to in order to
Oh,
talk about them. Like it's just wild. You are scared to be anywhere near them in case you get,
yep,
punch spat on. It's just yeah, it's
yep.
very punk rock. You
Cool. Yeah, I'm very. I'll be keen to check them out. I'm sure it's coming very soon that I'll be finally able to see them on a gig.
yeah, man, do it. Hey, this has been rad. I'll be seeing you at PFR Lounge in
Yep.
Brisbane. Incidentally, are you a Buffy and Angel nerd at all?
Oh, I'm not.
That's okay.
I
It's
think
the
growing up, I had Foxtel, and sometimes it would be on like this is cool, but
yeah.
then I'd be waiting for The Simpsons.
So I can't. I personally, it was not for me. I couldn't stand it, but my wife was a big fan. The reason I bring this up is because I was randomly chatting with the guy who runs PFR, who's this American dude, and he was like,
Yep.
"Oh yeah, I was the prop master on Angel." I'm like, "You fucking what?" And so he spent years working on these cult TV shows
Wow.
as the guy who like made all the props and stuff. So if you want
Wow.
weird little Hollywood adjacent stories, hit up the guy from Brisbane. He's a
Cool.
fascinating
That
dude.
sounds great.
Yeah, mate.
Is the venue kind of like decked out with any bits and pieces, or is it kind of just like a
No,
typical venue?
it is just punk rock. You've got lovely punk rock bar, and then right next to it, Punk venue, no stage, no nothing. It's just yes.
Yeah.
We will get in there and we will grind like
All right. Oh, that's cool. All right. Well, I'll definitely hit him up with some stories. Yeah.
Do it,
Awesome.
man. Yeah, man. Have a great day. It was lovely to finally talk to you, man.
Yeah, it was lovely talking to you. Hopefully next time, if we have a chat over the internet, we will have better internet connection and we can chat a bit more smoothly. But it's great chatting. Have a lovely afternoon.
You too, mate.
And I'll see you in Brisbane.
Yeah, you will. Oh, trust me. And I'm
Yeah.
6'7". You won't miss me.
No worries.
All right, my dude.
All right. Thanks, mate.